Hello, welcome to a long-awaited program, really, talking about vets. I have not had this organization or the guests on, this is their first time, but they've got a lot of good information. Even if you're not a vet, I bet you know of one. So you stay tuned and do not change that dial.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Citizen Service Center.
Hey, I know that we only have once a week garbage pickup now, and since my pickup day is on Monday and that's a holiday, when are you picking up my trash?
Ma'am, your makeup day will be on Wednesday.
Okay, but what if my pickup day is on Tuesday and that's a holiday?
Your makeup day will be on Wednesday.
Well, what about Thursday?
It's the day before.
If your garbage pickup day falls on a holiday during the week, your makeup day will be on Wednesday.
So what if my pickup day is on Wednesday?
That's simple. We don't pick up on Wednesday.
Columbus and the Bi-City area, you're invited to bring your church and civic groups to join the Mayor's Commission on Unity, Diversity, and Prosperity to commemorate the 50th anniversary celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., The Dream Lives. This free event will feature award-winning blues, soul, and gospel artist Ruthie Foster on Saturday, January 13th at the Liberty Theater and Cultural Center at 813 8th Avenue, Columbus. Sign up for the processional walk, 5 or 10K run at columbusga.org/The Dream Lives Columbus.
Welcome back to Talking About Vets. I have an organization here. I'm going to allow my guests to speak about the organization and give you all the information that you really need to know. So to my right here, would you look into that camera and introduce yourself to our viewing audience?
Sure. Hi, my name is Dorothy Whiteley. I am a retired Army medic. I served over 21 years on active duty in the Army, and I'm here with the Vet Center Services. At Vet Center Services, we're a part of the VA, but we're not directly with the VA entity in itself. We're located at 2601 Cross Country Drive here in Columbus, Georgia. Our telephone number is 706-596-7170.
Boy, you did it like a champ. And if we move to the gentleman to her right so he can look into the camera and introduce himself.
Good afternoon. My name is Ramon Payne. I am the Veterans Outreach Program Specialist for the Columbus Vet Center. I also am a veteran, served in the United States Army as a medic also. Glad to be here today. Great information to put out to you, the public, to let somebody know about the Columbus Vet Center and the services that we have and to make sure that we are taking care of all our vets.
You want to know something? I did not know that they were medics, and they were at the Academy of Sciences in Fort Sam Houston, Texas, where I was an instructor. So we have something in common, besides the fact that I'm glad to have them on this show, because when I went through their slides, the PowerPoint presentation you're going to see, they have a lot of really good information for vets. So let's jump right on in and go to that first slide and have you talk about it. Okay, this is the location of the Columbus Vet Center, where you're located. Can we go to the next slide, please? All righty. Let's talk about this here.
Yes. And our mission at the Columbus Vet Center, of all vet centers, which we're part of the VA, but we're part of the VA exclusive part called the Readjustment Counseling Services.
Okay.
And our mission is to welcome home and honor those who have served, those who are still serving, because we see active duty service members as well.
Okay.
Their families, we see family members as well, by reaching out to them in the communities, providing them with quality readjustment counseling and referrals as needed to the appropriate community and VA resources.
Okay, let me ask a question. It says readjustment counseling and referrals. What type of referrals do you refer out to the community?
We refer for homelessness, veterans that may come to us that are homeless, veterans who also may need more intensive mental health treatment than what we provide at the vet center, or veterans who may need assistance with housing, their utilities, anything that we can think, substance abuse.
So you are pretty much, what I'm hearing from you all is that you all are pretty much have a wraparound services.
Yes, we do, and we do have connections and resources other than the VA that we can refer to. So we do have local entities within the community that we also assist our veterans with, because not a lot of veterans are aware of some of the services
Exactly
that
right.
they are entitled to, that they've
Exactly.
already earned. Had a couple of veterans since I've been working at the Vet Center not really realize they were veterans because they said, oh, I only served 6 months. You're a veteran.
Yes, and I'm glad that you touched on that, because when I went through your slides, in fact, Mike referred earlier in the conversation when he got out, he wasn't even completely aware of a lot of services that he could have taken advantage of.
That's it, right. And for readjustment counseling services, we have Mr. Bean here, who is our Veterans Outreach Program Specialist, and that's what he does. That's his specialty. He goes out into the community to tell the community that readjustment counseling service, the Vet Center is here, and the services that we provide. That's his sole purpose, is letting veterans know what we are, the services we provide, and if we can't provide it, we'll get you to those resources.
Good. And we're going to touch into some of those things. Let's go to the next slide, please. So you can talk a little bit about how what you're under what auspices. The Vet Centers were established in '79 as a peer support group for veterans, helping other veterans.
That's right, and we think back to when veterans returned back from Vietnam. DOD and VA didn't do such a great job at helping them with their mental health issues
Sure.
that they returned with.
Sure.
A lot of them came back with PTSD, anxiety, depression, which they're still coming back with those. But VA today and readjustment counseling services is acknowledging that a little bit much more faster. Whereas with VA, when they came back, shell shock is
Right.
what it was called at that time. Fast forward to today, PTSD, TBI, we're recognizing that.
Right, and I'm glad that you mentioned, when I was coming up in the 40s, people didn't know how to really reach out to them. They would say, they're shell-shocked, just leave them alone. I'm so glad that we as a nation have progressed, and we have individuals like yourselves that are actually reaching out to these individuals. If we can go to the next slide, we're going to go to the individual things that you provide. And we can have Mr. Bing jump on in here now. Okay, now you have a list of things, so let's just go through the two of you. Let's just go through those things. Individual and family counseling.
Individual and family counseling. When veterans return from the combat zone, they often bring back with them some of the issues
Sure.
that come with them. So that's why we not only provide individual, we also see the family, because that person that is living with the veteran or significant other doesn't have to necessarily be married.
Sure.
So their significant other takes on a lot of those problems that the veteran
Sure.
returns with. And our family counseling is free. Everything that we provide is free. Veterans already earn those.
This is awesome. And bereavement counseling, something that a lot of people overlook.
Yeah, as far as our bereavement counseling, those are family members, friends, service members who are still dealing with the death of someone
Sure.
that they loved.
Sure.
We make sure that we give them that counseling services to them. And hopefully, I guess the greater thing is to make sure that when they come back or when they leave our services, that they're feeling a little bit better and have come to a position of, hey, they're gone, but we can celebrate their life.
Sure, sure.
Now that they're gone.
I'm glad to see something on military sexual trauma. That is awesome.
That-
That's awesome.
And it really is. And a lot of veterans, male and females, have experienced military sexual trauma on active duty. And a lot of veterans do not realize it's a service compensatory disability. And we provide counseling for that. And it's very specialized training that we provide, because before we can provide it, we have to go through a year of training.
That's
and
awesome.
counseling to be able to provide that unique service to that unique population.
Right.
So we encourage anyone who's experienced military sexual trauma while on active duty to at least come in and seek services.
Right, right. And I notice also there's a number of other things. You have trauma, stress. You have encouraged significant other support. That's for the spouse or whoever the significant other could be.
Exactly.
Let's go to the next slide.
Pops, I wanted to tap on that
Oh,
real quick, if you
sure.
don't mind. I think it's very important to know that that is a significant differential between readjustment counseling services and the VA, is the fact that we do recognize that that a lot of times when these service members come back from a deployment, it's just not them that's dealing with that trauma.
Sure, that's exactly
So we
right.
make sure that we extend those services out to the family, and I
Right.
think that is really key, and what really makes us a definitive option to a lot of people is because we do offer and extend that service. Whereas, our VA sister, they can only extend those services to the veteran.
And it's a good point that he's bringing that up, and that's why we would like the vet centers all over. There's over 300 vet centers located throughout the United States. What we would like to do is to be the veteran's first choice of care.
That's right.
Because we are inclusive and including the family members in our treatment processes
And
with that.
what you're bringing up, let's linger on this a bit. Let's linger on this point a bit, because this is something that I feel is important. And I would like for you to repeat that, because now I'm beginning to understand what you're saying. What you're saying is that you would like for the veteran to reach out to you, your organization of vet centers, prior to going to the VA, quote unquote, itself.
Give us a try, and you will be able to make that connection.
Now, what we're talking about is really important.
It is.
Because as a veteran, I do understand what you're saying, but I want to get this point across to a number of not only veterans, but the significant others of veterans as well, so that they understand. What you are saying, and just to define, and we're going to linger on this a bit, because this is important. I run into a lot of vets in the community who, they hit the VA system, but I think we need to put the skunk on the table.
That's right.
Put it on the table.
Put the skunk on the table. For the average veteran, the veteran's going to have to jump through the hoop, the fiery hoop, to get benefits, or to even know what benefits that they're entitled to. But with organizations like yours, they need to come to you so you can point out, this is what you need to do. We will help you do X, Y, and Z, because as a disabled veteran myself, if it wasn't for a lot of my own reading, a lot of other veterans who pulled my coat to a lot of things, I would have missed out on a lot. And this is an important point where I want you to linger on, because I want for not only the veteran, but for the significant others to realize, they can say, baby, we need to do this here, or honey, we need to do that. We need to check this organization out so we get more information. Because going to the VA, you're not going to get all the answers and the solutions to your problems. Let's get real.
But one thing I think that we want to make sure that the Columbus Vet Center, we should really, we're a subject matter expert.
That's exactly right.
For example, you wouldn't go to a dentist to perform to change oil in the car.
That's exactly right.
Vet Center specializes in servicing counseling for combat veterans.
And for helping veterans, that's exactly right.
So I think on that slide, it's stressed out that we do outreach and education. That is our job. We want to make sure that we get out there and educate the community, educate the veterans, educate anybody who has some kind of contact with somebody who they know have served.
And that is
hey,
exactly
the Vet
right.
Center is here. Not only do we extend the counseling services, but we're here to make sure that you know what services that are out there and that are available to you.
And I will tell all the veterans, this organization here provides tremendous outreach. That's one thing I like. But they are a wealth of information for you. I will repeat that, for you. So you do need to stop to an organization here at the Vet Center in order to get all the information that you need. Let's go to the next slide. Let's speak about this here. This next slide.
Sure.
Okay.
We began providing services to Columbus in July 2011.
Okay.
We started out with a small staff of 2, and since then we've grown to a staff of 7. During that time frame, we've served over 23,000 veterans here, just alone here in the Columbus area.
Boy, you all have been working.
We have a large area that Mr. Bing has a large area that he's responsible for. We've held over 650 community events.
Oh, wow.
And
In fact, I've seen you, Mr. Bing, I've seen you at an event.
Oh yeah, my job is to be out there.
There you go, there you go.
And that's what we do. We're out in the communities. Mr. Bing is out in the communities at least 6 out of the 8 hours of the day, just informing the public, handing out brochures, letting them, hey, and it's like you said, there's some, if you're not a veteran yourself, there's some chances are you know
of someone.
that
Exactly
could use
right.
our services.
Exactly right.
And again, I'd like to family unification is one of our top priorities, along with getting that veteran assistance that they need. So we're just not like focusing on the veteran. We are inclusive with the veteran, the significant other.
Which is very important.
Could be a relative that the veterans live with. It could be a boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance. But we welcome them all.
And now
because-
you're taking a holistic approach
Yes,
to help
we
the
are.
veterans. Let's go to the eligibility.
Okay, for eligibility, you've had to have served in some form of combat, whether it was Vietnam, Operation Desert Storm, or post 9/11.
And that's covering a lot of individuals, a lot of
Absolutely,
veterans.
absolutely. And that's what makes us unique, again, is the fact that we do cater to combat veterans. But also another one is the military sexual trauma and the bereavement. We want
Right.
to make sure that we extend those services to those service members. And when you talk about military sexual trauma, that is whether you were sexually harassed or sexually assaulted while you was in uniform.
Sure.
We want to make sure that we extend those services out there to you. But another thing, eligibility, we want to make sure that we hit. We say veteran, but we also make sure that our services are extended to active duty service members.
Which is very important because, you know, a lot of the active duty service members do not realize they're veterans.
Correct.
Oh,
They've
right.
served, yes. They do not realize that since it may still
That
be
they
on-
fall under that umbrella.
They fall underneath the umbrella.
Sure.
Just as well as drone operators who actually may be in Arizona somewhere, but because they're looking at the traumatic events.
Sure.
And they may be
That's a good
subject to
point, what
that.
you're bringing up. Would you revisit that,
The
please?
drone operators, mortuary affairs.
That's right.
Medical x-ray techs that have provided support in support of combat operations. They all are subject
That
to.
is a very good point, and I'm glad that you brought that up.
Sure,
I'm really glad that you
absolutely.
brought that up. We're really getting a lot of good information. What we're going to do, we're going to take a break. But before we go to further on the slides, we're going to recap some things that I think are really important, things that I've learned about this organization, and things that I want you to know about it as well. So we'll be right back on the other side of this commercial.
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling Citizen Service Center.
Hey, I know that we only have once a week garbage pickup now, and since my pickup day is on Monday and that's a holiday, when are you picking up my trash?
Ma'am, your makeup day will be on Wednesday.
Okay, but what if my pickup day is on Tuesday and that's a holiday?
Your makeup day will be on Wednesday.
Well, what about Thursday?
It's the day before.
If your garbage pickup day falls on a holiday during the week, your makeup day will be on Wednesday.
So what if my pickup day is on Wednesday?
That's simple. We don't pick up on Wednesday.
Columbus and the Bi-City area, you're invited to bring your church and civic groups to join the Mayor's Commission on Unity, Diversity, and Prosperity to commemorate the 50th anniversary celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., The Dream Lives. This free event will feature award-winning blues, soul, and gospel artist Ruthie Foster on Saturday, January 13th at the Liberty Theater and Cultural Center at 813 8th Avenue, Columbus. Sign up for the processional walk, 5 or 10K run at columbusga.org/The Dream Lives Columbus.
Welcome back to Talk About Vets. Now, I know we're covering a lot. And so what I want to do, we still have a lot of other slides to go to. But this organization is, what's that guy that used to be on Good Times? Dynamite! This is a dynamite organization here for veterans. So I do want to recap some things. So the first thing I want to recap is how to find you. Look into that camera and let them know how to find you. And if you can also let them know, which is real important, the days and times you're there, the hours. I was very impressed with that. In that camera.
Sure. The Columbus Vet Center is located at 2601 Cross Country Drive here in Columbus, Georgia. Our telephone number is 706-596-7170. Our hours of operation right now are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're open from 8 to 4:30. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have extended hours for those that are veterans that do work and family members that work as well. We're open until 7, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the
That's
afternoon.
awesome.
In the
Now-
evenings.
Now, these are the things that I want to kick off. I'm a veteran, but when I got out, I did not have the percentage that I should have received when I got out. And I was fortunate enough to have a lot of veterans who had been out before me, just in conversation, because we vets look out and we take care of each other. That's one thing that I just love about veterans. And so I had a lot of them say, did you do this? Did you ask about that? Things I had no knowledge of. And then after I went to nursing school, I learned more. So now you have an organization right here, these two individuals, that on the front end can sit you down and talk to you, even before you start going through the maze of the VA. I didn't have it, Mike didn't have it, a lot of my friends who are veterans didn't have it, and now they're scrambling, trying to get recognition of something that they should have known about before they even transition out the military. So you have this organization here, and you have the extended hours. When you go to the VA, you need to have individuals, you need to have knowledge beforehand, before you go to the VA. Let me just put it to you like that there. And I want these two individuals just to take the time, before we go on to any other slides, as to why. And I'm going to pass it over to this young lady to my right, and she can pass it over to the gentleman to her right if she wants to. But I want you to look into this camera here, and I want you to explain to them why they need to do it. And if you have to say anything, that's the camera you need to look at.
The Columbus Vet Center and all vet centers should be a veteran's first choice. And I say that because we are unique in services. The majority of the time, we are veterans ourselves. So when it's important when you make that connection, or trying to make that connection with, especially your mental health provider or any provider, when you're establishing that rapport. At the VA, we have a hard time with that because either the white coat intimidation, or because we're working with someone, speaking with someone who is not served or who doesn't understand the language or the
Exactly
lingo,
right.
exactly what you've been through. However, that situation is totally different with the vet center because, again, we're veterans helping veterans.
That's exactly
We have
right.
either served in combat, we're veterans ourselves, so we're able to walk the walk and talk the talk along with you to understand when you say, hey, I wasn't afforded the opportunity to go on sick call. Hey, they didn't seem to understand I had this injury or this was going on. We really do understand and can relate and are able to, in addition, provide you with the mental health counseling that you need because all of our counselors are licensed counselors. So there's no one there that cannot provide the same services that you're going to receive at the VA. However, we specialize in combat-related traumatic services in addition to providing services to your families, and that's why we want to be your first choice.
And your services are free.
Free, exactly.
It's free.
F-R-E-E. You've already earned them. You've served in the combat zone, you've experienced military sexual trauma, or you're going through the bereavement process. You've already earned them. They are, again, free. F-R-E-E. And another thing I'd like to stress, too, is our records are separate from the VA.
That I didn't know, and I just want you to know. Would you repeat? That's an extremely important thing. I don't know how many times veterans have said the VA can't find this. So it's very important that you, as an organization, or you know what you all are? You all are ombudsmen.
Oh wow! Yes, we are.
You are ombudsmen for the veterans, and I can't stress even more importantly how important it is for you to stop and see them first. And the second thing, what I like about, they are holistic. They're thinking not only about you, because they know whatever impacts you impacts your significant others.
I want to say,
Mr. Bing.
I want to tell you, and one thing that I really think that Ms. Whiteley was saying when she spelled out F-R-E-E, free. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know and hear this and remember this. If you served, you deserve.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
That's what we at the Vet Center really want to drive home. Come to us and know that we got your six. Or should I say we got your back, but everybody,
There we go.
You know what I'm talking about.
There we go. There we go.
We're going to do everything that we can to make sure that we help you navigate this system.
Exactly.
We're going to make sure that we take care of you from a mental health perspective, but anything else that you need as far as making sure that you're able to access all the different services that are accessible to you at the VA.
That you
we're
have
going to make
earned.
sure that
Yes.
you've earned.
You've earned.
That you've earned. We're going to make sure that you're able to get those services.
And take advantage of them.
And not just take advantage, but also who you need to contact with. I think one of the things that I'm absolutely blessed, that I feel like I'm blessed is I've had the opportunity to work both sides of the scope. I worked at the VA hospital, and now I am an employee of the Columbus Vet Center.
Right.
So because of that, I've had the opportunity to network with both.
Sure.
So guess
And that's
what?
an advantage.
That's an extreme advantage.
Now, what I want to go to the slide that says how to find us, because I want them to be able to contact you fully. So let's go to that, say how to find us. Would you, one of you, go through the slide?
Okay, one thing, our address, again, is 2601 Cross Country Drive. Let me give you an easy landmark. We're right behind the public shopping center.
There we go.
Next to the Goodwill, right across from the Goodwill and Barber's Driving School.
Telephone number.
Our telephone number is 706-596-7170.
Hours of operation.
Our hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.
The website.
Our website, you can go to www.va.gov, but at the top of the web page, I want you to hover over the locations, and you want to tab into Georgia, and once you hit the Georgia tab, it's going to take you to the different services, and you're going to click on Vet Center. Once you click on Vet Center, it's going to show you all the vet centers within the that are located within the state of Georgia, and we're here, right here in Columbus, Georgia.
Great.
And as I said before, if you look at the map that's up there now, there's over 300 vet centers. So no matter if you don't know any veterans here, specifically in Columbus, you know a veteran somewhere in the United States. But what I'd like to do is, this here is to the spouses and significant others. You have a veteran. You have someone or know of someone that could use our services. Tell them, come on and see us. Give us a call. Give us a try. We'd love to have them. They've already earned the services, males, females, all. This is, well, like I said, they're free. The services are free.
And let me tell you what I like now. It's only been within the past 15 years that they started to recognize specific trauma to females. Normally it wasn't recognized, but this organization here is holistic. And there are many veterans out there that are going through life without being compensated for the injuries that they received while serving this marvelous country of ours. And so I'm very happy that we have individuals here, like the vet centers, and for one last time, please look in there. The one thing I want them to do is know how to get in touch with you.
All right, again, our address is 2601 Cross Country Drive here in Columbus, Georgia. We're right behind the public shopping center, right across from Longhorn Steakhouse, Goodwill, and in the same cul-de-sac with Barber's Driving School. Our hours of operation are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 to 4:30, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're open from 8 to 7 p.m.
And Mr. Bing is at the TAP Center on Fort Benning. For all of you active duty that are watching, just ask for, who did I need to ask for?
Ramon Bing.
Ramon Bing. Let me tell you, I'm just so happy to have an organization like this here in Columbus, Georgia, which they had been around when I transitioned out of the military. This program is Talk About Vets, and it's all about veterans and veterans affairs. I'd like to thank the Columbus Consolidated Government for allowing the opportunity to have this program. Mr. Mike King and Mr. Bruce King. Mr. Mike King is the producer. I'd like to thank him. And I'd like to say something very seriously here. The only reason that we in this marvelous country of ours have the benefits and the many freedoms we have is because of veterans. And the only thing that the veterans ask for is to serve God and country. Mm-hmm. So when they do transition out with the many illnesses or traumas that they have, it's only right for them to be accorded the disability and the ratings that they have. Organizations like the Vet Center make that possible. So until the next show, from one vet to another, God bless you. God bless you and your family as well. See you next time.